Lilo and Stitch is the latest live-action remake of the 2002 film, this time following Lilo as she wishes for a best friend when suddenly an extraterrestrial named Stitch arrives on Earth, making Lilo's wish come true. Now, with this film, obviously, in terms of me saying this before I continue with this review, I have never seen the actual original film, but I know pretty much the story of what happens. Lilo's pretty much bullied, so then she wishes for a best friend who's an alien that comes to Earth, making her wish come true. Now, with that being said, starting off with Lilo and Stitch themselves, this relationship between them was nice to see. I liked how their friendship was shown on screen, and I liked the comedic moments, the heart-wrenching moments, the crazy chaotic moments, because I gotta say, Stitch, of course, being an alien and being a crazy guy.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I think the chaoticness of Stitch is really what brightens this film mostly. And I know most people say, oh, this movie wasn't what it needed to be like the original. I will say, for a person who's seen originals and remakes at the same time, I'm not really offended with the fact of if directors change stuff from the original. I don't really care what they do with the film. I just care if they know what they're doing and how they know what the source material is. Now, for Nani's character, she had an interesting character arc this time around. I think the way her character was portrayed in this movie was pretty nice. She didn't have too much bad moments, although I will say, like, the only moments in this movie that made me didn't like her character was when she was being bossy. And I respect her for being bossy just because within the story, Lilo and Stitch's parents don't exist.
What?
They do exist, but they're dead. And I don't know if that had to do with the original as well, but in this movie it does exist. So as far as that goes, like, Nani's relationship in this movie, more so with David, it's kind of small, pretty awkward, but it's nice to see when they're both near each other on screen. And there's not much terribleness going on with this movie, but it is pretty nice. And as far as Lilo and Nani's relationship go, it's hilarious how you kind of connect with them because it's kind of relatable, because the amount of chaotic energy, anger, happiness, sadness, disgustness, fear, or whatever, I'm not trying to say that just because of Inside Out.
Are you sure?
I'm saying that truthfully from the heart, that I do think with Lilo and Nani's relationship in this film, they connect with each other like a real sibling would. Now, as far as Jumba and Pleakly go, man, especially Pleakly, man had me dying the entire movie, because whether he was in his alien form or in the disguise as a human form, it was nice to see the way he was portrayed. And I think, especially with the human form, that's when he had the best moments, because, again, going back to me saying I've never seen the original, I'm assuming with Pleakly being on the level that he was in this movie, his comedic timing was actually, like, spot on. And as far as Jumba goes, he didn't have much to do in this movie, but more so just pretty much be a villain. Now, I didn't understand why Bro was the villain, but then I realized, oh, well, they changed the story, because as I know in the original Lilo and Stitch, the villain of the movie is Captain Gontu. And for this movie, they switched it up because Captain Gontu wasn't in the movie, then they had Jumba be the villain this time around. So that was pretty interesting to see. And then I think Captain Cobra Bubbles, I feel like maybe he might have also been, like, part of why Captain Gantu wasn't in this movie as well. I mean, I know Captain Cobra Bubbles was also in the original, but he had more of a government agent role to play than more of a villain, I guess. And in this movie, I wouldn't say he was really a villain. He was more so just like playing that kind of role that it felt like a father figure, because he knew what Nani was going through when she had to come to that decision of whether giving up Lilo or finding a way to keep her. Anyways, I'd say for some of the other characters in this movie, like the grandmother, if I recall right, I think she was kind of just a new addition into this movie to kind of fill in the blanks for some of the other characters that weren't in this movie. Like, I feel like she played a nice role because her comedic timing was in there. It's just, some of this movie, she felt she was being kind of aggressive, especially towards Lilo. Like, she helped her, but she was more so like on Nani's side about like making sure Stitch is out of the way of trouble, even though that's kind of the point of Stitch's character. He's supposed to be chaotic and a troublemaker. And I think they did a great job with this movie of making Stitch exactly that. And then as far as Lilo and Mertle's relationship in this movie, it was chaotic, but they didn't have much to do other than being enemies in this movie. And as far as the original goes, I feel like they played a great part in showing how that relationship goes. It was nice to see when Lilo stood up for herself when Mertle was being a jerk. Like, I love the part when Lilo pushed Mertle off the stage, because that showed that Lilo isn't just always a fearless little kid and actually knows how to protect herself from a bully. And then I will say the ending in this movie, wow, it was interesting because it felt like it was definitely heart-wrenching. That I will say that indeed it was definitely heart-wrenching. Now, I don't know where this movie will go for the sequel, because I'm pretty sure I've heard there are rumors that there will be a sequel to this movie. I don't know when, but I'm assuming it will be sooner or later, depending on how much time the CGI takes and all that. But as far as post-credit scenes go, there aren't any as far as I know. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. So I hope you guys liked it. You know, all the regular stuff, like, comment, subscribe, so you don't miss any new content, because I do have some new content planned for this month and then also next month, leading into my review that I will have up probably the day of or the day after Stranger Things 5 Part 1 releases, because I do want to do a full review of that Part 1 and then probably a spoiler review after Part 1 has dropped on November 26th, so probably November 27th or 28th, I'll drop my Stranger Things 5 review. But, you know, other than that, like, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything new, because this month will be pretty busy for my upload schedule. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. And until next time, I will catch you guys on the flip side.